When the answers we so desperately need seem infinitely delayed? Let's be honest, it is literally one of the most universally frustrating human experiences out there. And that brings us to a really provocative question. What exactly do we do when uncertainty becomes truly uncomfortable? Well, history shows us that human beings react to waiting in a pretty predictable way. We start building our very own golden calves. Welcome to this Explainer in the Family Bible Wisdom 118.9 series. I am so incredibly thrilled you're joining us today. In this series, we uncover ancient, layered truths and translate them for our modern, everyday lives. Today, we're unpacking Exodus chapter 32, which honestly contains one of the most dramatic and sobering moments in Israel's entire journey. Here is our quick roadmap for today. We're going to cover the problem of waiting, the golden calf incident, 5 lenses of meaning, your modern golden calf, and finally, one core wisdom. All right, let's jump right into part 1, the problem of waiting. We all wrestle with patience, right? With silence and that profound discomfort that hits when we don't have immediate direction. We are hardwired to crave control, certainty, and immediate answers. We fundamentally want things we can touch and manage. And because of that wiring, trusting the unseen becomes incredibly difficult. When we're faced with silence, our instinct isn't usually to sit quietly. Nope, our instinct is to replace that mystery with something manageable. Which leads us perfectly into part 2, the golden calf incident. Let's look at how this builds chronologically. So Moses is up on Mount Sinai getting God's instructions, but he's delayed for weeks. The people waiting at the base, they can't see him. They have no idea what happened to him. And over a matter of mere days, they grow incredibly anxious and impatient. So they turn to Aaron and say, "Hey, make us gods who will go before us." In just a few hours, Aaron collects their gold and fashions a golden calf. They start celebrating and worshiping an idol created by their own hands. Meanwhile, God tells Moses what's happening. Moses comes down, sees this massive revelry, and in an instant of righteous anger, he shatters the stone tablets. The contrast here is just staggering. Think about it. Weeks of faithful waiting, completely undone by just a few hours of panic. I mean, they literally went from watching the Red Sea part to worshiping a golden cow in record time. So let's unpack this in part 3, exploring our 5 lenses of meaning. First up is the literal lens. What physically happens here? The Israelites lose focus and completely break their covenant with God. What makes this so sobering is that these are the exact same people who literally just witnessed the plagues, the parting of the Red Sea, and God's daily provision. It proves that even folks who have experienced undeniable, earth-shattering miracles can quickly lose their faith when faced with a delay. Second, we look through the allegorical lens. Through this lens, we have to redefine the golden calf. It's not just some historical golden statue. The golden calf represents absolutely anything we turn to for security, identity, or meaning instead of trusting God. It's a substitute we actively create when waiting just becomes too uncomfortable to bear. Third is the moral lens, which looks at character and behavior. And this brilliantly illustrates the moral danger. Impatience often causes us to abandon our deepest values for immediate comfort. The Israelites just couldn't tolerate the uncertainty of Moses being gone, and their anxiety pushed them into a terribly poor, short-sighted decision. And, let's empathize with them for a second. We do this exact same thing when we get anxious. Fourth, the anagogical lens, which deals with hope and the greater plan. This longing for something tangible, it reveals our fundamental struggle with the unseen. Faith is tough. It requires immense trust during seasons of absolute silence. When we are forced to wait, we're forced to confront the mysteries of a greater plan that we simply cannot control. Finally, our 5th lens, the wisdom lens. This is all about pulling out timeless principles for our everyday lives. Here, we really need to contrast trusting the unseen with worshiping the immediate. Trusting the unseen brings long-term peace, but worshiping immediate, tangible substitutes, that is ultimately destructive. Because the crucial point here is that we become what we worship. Whatever sits at the absolute center of your life is going to eventually shape your identity. Think about it. If you choose to worship the idol of money, your resulting identity will be anxious. If you worship status, you become deeply insecure. Worship success, you'll find yourself perpetually exhausted. And if public approval is your idol, you will absolutely become a people pleaser. The very things we depend on to save us are the exact things that mold who we become. Moving into part 4, your modern golden calf. Money, success, status, relationships, power, technology, comfort, public approval. I want to challenge you right now. Which of these is yours? What do you run to when life feels incredibly uncertain? When you're feeling lost or anxious, do you run to the comfort of technology? Do you seek out public approval to validate your worth? We all have an idol we're tempted to build. The text we're unpacking today hands us several practical wisdom treasures to help navigate this. First off, waiting tests what we truly trust. Second, anxiety almost always seeks quick substitutes. Third, remember that even grand miracles do not remove the ongoing need for daily faith. And lastly, comfort itself can so easily become a false god. We are all tempted to create idols out of whatever makes us feel safe and cozy in the short term. So I want to ask you this with total empathy, but also very directly. What are you turning to right now simply because waiting has become uncomfortable? Are you willing to endure the wait? Or do you demand immediate answers to the point that you'll actually compromise your deepest values?
And that brings us to part 5, one core wisdom.
Here is your core wisdom statement. Read it with me. Whatever you trust most will eventually shape your life, so choose carefully what sits at the center of your heart. Our allegiances have long-term impacts, guys. What you place at the center today is actively designing the person you'll be a decade from now. You see, the Israelites didn't stop believing in God overnight. That's the real warning here. Losing faith is almost always a slow drift. They simply grew impatient, and they replaced their trust with something they could manage and control. And we are so often tempted to do the exact same thing when the silence stretches on. Remember, every single chapter of the Bible contains incredible treasures of wisdom just waiting to be discovered, no matter what century we're living in. I really hope this explainer of Exodus 32 has challenged you to take a look at your own heart. So, as you go about your day today, ask yourself, what idol are you tempted to build while you wait? Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep growing. Thanks so much for joining me for this Family Bible Wisdom 118.9 explainer, and I will see you next time.